Well, hey guys, Jonathan with you once again. Welcome back to the daily video. Back in the little studio here today. I've had a very strong start to the morning. I'm training again for another ultra marathon. So I got up this morning and did a long run, a couple of hours in the dark, and it was -8 Celsius. It was 8 degrees below zero. So just to prove to you that I'm not lying, we're about to cut to a little video so you can see me in a dark forest at some ridiculous time, 8 degrees below zero. Let's just check it out. Hey guys, it's a bit before dawn. I'm in a forest. It's just a little bit below -8 or 8 degrees below zero Celsius. Got about another 10k to go. Just want to encourage everybody that this is what I do first thing in the morning, but you don't have to do this, but it's definitely worth getting up and doing something. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So there you go. You actually have proof that I really did it, that it's true. But look, I just want to encourage you, that life's about doing interesting things. It's about movement. It's about taking action. It's about doing things that move us forward each day. So for me, I love the solitude. I love the peace. I love the challenge. I like feeling fit and healthy. So I do want to encourage you, get moving, whether it's just getting off the couch and walking to the end of your street, or whether it's running an ultra marathon. I just think there's something about us that grows and develops when we move and we take action in life. Now, housekeeping as always, please make sure that you have subscribed. Hit that subscribe button down here on YouTube or Rumble, wherever you're watching this, and hit the notification bell. It's great to see the channel growing and reaching more people. And of course, under here, you are going to find a bunch of links to different offers that I've got. Free access to my book. How bizarre, one of the lights just dropped out, but hopefully you can still see me. This is the real gritty nature of editing in real time. So check out those links in the description. You can get access to my book. You can book me to speak. It's all there. Today, keeping the videos always nice and short for you. I want to jump into a great quote from the Roman Epicurean Stoic philosopher Lucretius, or his full name was Titus Lucretius Carus, who died in 55 BC, so a really pivotal time in the Roman Empire. And it's a very simple quote, but I want to share it with you because I think it just applies to all of us at all times. It's relevant. Let's jump in and hear from Lucretius. No matter how difficult a task may look, persistence and steady action will get you through. These Roman Stoic philosophers just had this beautiful knack of presenting the obvious to us in ways that are useful. They're simple to access. He's reminding us that every single one of us has obstacles, challenges, tasks, difficulties, things that make life at times quite difficult. Whatever you're facing in life at the moment, I want you to think about a particular challenge or daunting difficulty in your life at the moment. It could be a relationship problem, a career problem, a health and fitness problem. We all at different times have tasks that can seem genuinely overwhelming, right? And we don't know how we're going to get through it. The reminder today is that no matter how difficult something may look to you, the path through it is always and everywhere going to be persistent and steady action. Just turning up each day and doing what needs to be done. And I wanted to bring this home to you with a simple illustration. St. Peter's Basilica in Rome took 144 years to build. 144 years. It was first started in the 4th century by the Emperor Constantine, but then was added to over time, and there's always been additions and changes going on. But 144 years. The Taj Mahal in India, that incredibly famous building, took 20,000 workers. Let me check my notes. 20,000 workers, 21 years. 20,000 workers, 21 years to build. And the other example was York Minster Cathedral in the British town of York, which I've been to. I've visited this amazing building. Took 252 years to build. 252 years to build. My point's simply this, that each of those three structures are world famous for their beauty, for their symmetry, for their proportion, for their magnificence. But it was the persistent and steady action that created them. And as I got those numbers, I thought there's an interesting link here between the creation of something significant, meaningful, long-lasting, and persistent and steady action. You know, it wasn't as if 10 people got together and slapped the Taj Mahal together in a weekend, right? It was 20,000 people over 21 years. So it illustrated for me this truth that it's not what we do on a single day that matters. It's what we do daily. Persistent, steady action. Persistent, steady action. You know, some people have said, why do you do this every single day? People can't keep up with the content. I go, well, for a start, people access content at all different times, right? So some people are getting every episode. Some people are getting every second one. Who knows? But on this great big planet, there's people accessing at all different times. And I just wanted to create content that I care about, that teaches me, that helps other people. So I thought I was going to do it every day. I'm just going to do it every single day, regardless. I'm going to take persistent and steady action. I'm not going to let the environment dictate to me or criticism dictate to me whether or not I do it. I'm just going to keep taking this persistent and steady action. So this point of today's message, this message from Lucretius, echoing down, you know, through over 2,000 years, almost 2,100 years ago, he's telling us that if there's something in our life that's worth doing, if there's something in our life that's hard or difficult or challenging, but there is an outcome attached at the end of it that we know is significant, then what will get you through is persistent and steady action. I used to think it was talent. I used to think that success was heavily linked to talent, that if you had an X factor, if you had something that other people couldn't do, then you would eventually win. Nah, because it's not true, because there's tons of athletes and actors and all sorts of famous people who've ended up derelict and all over the place because they weren't capable of the disciplined, persistent daily action. I'm not judging them. I'm just saying it's a fact. It's a given. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Last point would be to remind ourselves that we live in this culture of immediacy. We live in a highly technological culture that presents the myth of immediacy, that you can hack everything. You can hack efficiency shortcuts, productivity shortcuts. No, some things take a long time. Some things just take doing it, raising great kids. We got 3 young kids still, and it's a journey. I'm speaking to about 700 parents in a few weeks. And that's one of the points I'm going to make. It's the persistent and steady action. It's what we do daily as parents or spouses or friends or brothers or sisters or employees or leaders or principals or prime ministers. It's what we do every single day with persistent and steady action that makes the difference. So that's what I want to do. So I want to encourage you today that if you're feeling daunted, if there's something that seems beyond your abilities, do not underestimate how much impact and success you can have simply by taking those small daily steps and just showing up, just constantly doing what needs to be done. I'm going to do this. I'm looking at doing a 100K run, this 100K stage race. And people are like, it's 100 kilometers, man. Like, how does anybody run 100 kilometers? Well, the first answer to that is slowly. How do you run it? Slowly. The second answer is that you don't run 100 kilometers in one go, right? Like, you spend months doing 10K, 20K, 40K, 50, 60, 80K. You do some back-to-back marathon days, right? And it's the persistent and steady action that means when you finally cross the finish line at the 100K mark, you're like, I'm a genius, I did it. Everyone's going, how do you do it? Well, I did it because I took persistent and steady action for months beforehand, years beforehand. All right, that's it. Please make sure you've subscribed. If you haven't done it yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, share this with some friends, and go check out all the links, particularly the podcast version. If you're not getting the daily podcast, check out the link here in the description, because usually on the podcast, it's a different vibe. I go a bit deeper, and so go check that out. You can get free access to my book, Bridging the Gap. And if you want to book me to speak, if you want me to come and speak at your business, your school, your church, your organization, if you want me to work with your leaders, students, staff, whatever it is where you think people need encouragement, growth, there's something you need to target, go check out that link and book me to speak. So that's it today. God bless you, everybody. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been the daily message from me and my friend Lucretius in the 1st century BC, and I am going to have another message for you tomorrow.